Goodbye, EFL. Never thought I'd see the day we'd be disgraced and fall out of the English Football League. Such a proud history. The team from the town of Chimneys always held our own. So proud to be a Blue. And it seems to me you sucked the life out of an English football team. Never knowing, always clinging to a hopeless dream. And I wish I never knew you, and it was just a dream before you came too old a man. Suck the life out of a team.
This is a test of the Boundary Park alert system.
We're on mute still.
No, we're good to go. Smooth.
Yes, as always, professional as ever. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Well, can I just start this today by just saying a few things? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Well, today is a significant day in the history of Oldham Athletic where we can look forward to an exciting time under Frank Rothwell. However, this would never have come out without the relentless work and tenacity of the following people: Steve Shipman, Will Goff, Dan Taylor, Brad Knowles, Andy Halliwell, Adam Keeley, Jim Booth, Darren Mills, Paul Whitehead, Dominic Law, Arlene Finnegan, and the man sat beside me, Matthew Dean. Every single Oldham fan, from the realistic to the imbecilic, no names mentioned, will be ever indebted to these people as they give the blood, sweat and tears and tennis balls to ending the reign of the Lemsegums and Barry Owen. They never wavered or accepted defeat. They challenged and pushed the board always, even when the previous owners used silence as a non-communication and as a tool. We could still hear the PTB, OESF and the Boundary Park alert system throughout. I'm also excited for the Atleticos to come home, where the atmosphere creators of Boundary Park will be there, and they're truly to be a sight to behold. It's now time for the fans to pack the park for Dorking and get your season tickets to make Boundary Park a fortress again. We need to be the 12th man to give us the momentum to rise up back to the EFL once again. So, Matt, as you hear, I really would like to say thank you for everything to you and the team, because you've helped to make today such a special day. And I hope all the fan base will do the same. Thank you.
Cheers, Dave. There's that tenner.
Yeah. 20 quid already. No,
it's gone down. Hello!
Hello!
I should have brought some party poppers.
Yeah.
I mean...
Or just poppers.
Just poppers.
It'll be a fun evening.
I'm going to Torquay with him. I am genuinely worried about spending the 2 nights in the same bedroom as him. But we'll see. You know, it's...
Just to people who are trying to join the studio on the link, it is full at the moment, but we will try and get through to everybody and get them on. So let's get them in, Matt.
We've got 12 of you lined up. I'm just going to go through it in the order that you're there, from left to right.
So please be patient. Honestly, we will get through to you. We just want you to enjoy it. And yeah.
So Billy, you're first in line, Billy. Here comes Billy. Hiya, mate.
Hi, folks. How are you? How are things?
All right. Yeah, all the way from the west coast of Ireland.
Yeah. I'm familiar. I don't think I've met you, Dave. I've met you, Matt. Sorry, I've met Dave a couple of times now at this stage on trips over. But
yeah, well, I missed you when you were over for the fundraiser for the match. I had COVID, unfortunately, and you'd flown over for that. So, I mean, that was a big day, and like we didn't know from that point what was going to happen. How far into the struggle we were, like, and it was a really felt like a pivotal day. How do you feel today, though? Because today is completely different.
Yeah, it's funny just looking back to that day. I remember just thinking, having a few pints afterwards, going, well, look, if this is the lowest that we are, but there's still 1,000 of us here, and we're having a game of football, and like Andy Ritchie's walking past me over there, you know, like everything's going to be all right eventually, if this is as low as it gets. So I came away from that like feeling great about the whole thing, even though it was absolutely miserable, you know, outside of that little bubble that we had around that fundraiser game. But then today, look, I was happy enough to have the distraction of work most of the day. Then as 5 o'clock was ticking forward, you're hitting refresh again. You're just looking and you're following the Twitter stuff. I think once I saw that it had actually started and there was people sitting down in chairs saying, yeah, we're taking over the club. The initial thing wasn't like to jump up and punch the air. I just actually felt relief, which kind of surprised me because I thought, you know, I'd be like swinging from the lampshade or something, but it was relief. And then I kind of just stepped back from it for half an hour because like there's so much stuff coming in, and then just, you know, kind of caught up with it a bit in dribs and drabs. And now I just, to be honest with you, I wish I was over there having a few cans.
I tell you what, Billy, it was a real privilege to be there today. It really was. And there was, I can be quite sort of like nonchalant and kind of blasé about things like before they happen. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, yeah, you know, but there was a point when I sat there and I looked up at that table and saw Joe and Darren and an Oldham family who were clearly really, really pleased to be there. And it was just like, wow, this has happened far quicker and ended up far better,
easier as well.
Yeah, than we could have possibly have dreamed of. Like at the end of last season, the reason I played that clip at the beginning about the EFL, I mean, obviously there's some nice little opportunities to have a dig on a parting dig at those people that we're waving goodbye to, but it so much has changed in such a short space of time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was funny just looking back at the images from the press conference there earlier. Just the one picture that kind of grabbed me initially was just a picture of John Sheridan sitting down at the table with the biggest smile on his face I've ever seen John Sheridan have, like looking, as he'd say himself, chuffed to bits. And then just scrolling through again about half an hour later, and you got a picture of our new owner having a pint at the same table. And Sheridan's not looking too happy, but then you see there's a glass of water in front of him. So I hope he's managed to get sorted out in the meantime. But no, look, I was kind of the same as everyone else. Again, go back to the fundraiser. I was telling all my friends and everyone who come over with me and everyone who ever asked me about it, this is going to go on for years. It's going to, you know, it's always going to get worse. There's worse it's going to get. We're going to go down again, and so on and so forth. But then, bang, in the space of, well, it just seemed to hit us at 2 o'clock that day, you know, the realization that there's going to be something happening and it's going to happen within 4 weeks, longest 4 weeks of most of our lives, I think, even though in the grand scheme of things, it's a tiny period of time. But yeah, they've done it. And then you just see today and just, it kind of makes everything, like, I mean, especially, I just want to say as well, just all the names you mentioned at the start and yourself, Dave, and everyone, and just every fan who was ever on a pitch, including myself twice, incidentally. I won't say what pitch, but anyway, and anyone who's ever told, anyone who's banged the drum with the Atleticos, all played a massive part in that. And just another thing, I said relief earlier. The next thing was pride. You just got to be so proud of it, just to you know, just to see these people coming together and being a huge part of it. And now we got something to look forward to.
Yeah, that's it, and this is what it's all about, isn't it? Today is going to be ever changing in the history of Oldham Athletic, but without the guys like the PTB, Matt, the OSF, you know, the Badge Pack, you know, all the fans as a collective, we've had our time now. It's full circle. We need to move forward, and it's changed. You know, to see Frank Rothwell playing up to the cameras and having a good laugh. He was a really good crack and just had so much time for everybody. He just made time. Shez was buzzing, and everyone was just so happy, and it's just nice to see around the club. I say I felt quite overwhelmed just looking out onto the pitch, saying, you know, and Darren Rowe said to me, he said, "This is ours again now, and it's time to have some fun." And that was quite. It just took me back, and a member of the Royal family, I won't mention names, but they were getting welled up behind me when we were watching the press conference and hearing Darren speak, and the passion that he had in his voice was just was brilliant. Honestly, it was quite overwhelming for me.
I'm just going to bring in the next caller just because we do have quite a few to get through. Who are you, Mids Blue?
Mids Blue.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
I'm muting.
Sorry.
It's
You're
all right. Yeah.
It's not B. Owen from Mids, is it?
No. No, it's Simon. Mids Blue. I'm always on
Simon.
you're right, Mads. How are you?
Good, mate. Yeah, really good today. Thanks. What have you been? You're in the Midlands, are you? Presumably.
I am, yeah. So I'm the one who's Midlands born and bred. So I kind of fell into Oldham 35 years ago, and been here ever since. So yeah, but it's been a brilliant day, hasn't it?
How have you been following proceedings, and what's it been like?
Well, I managed to get on with the Facebook Live, so I've watched it from there. It was a bit jittery, so I've got the sense of it all. But yeah, it's just been an amazing day, hasn't it? In that short space of 3 minutes, it's just got rid of the last 3 years, hasn't it?
Yeah. We were getting nervous, weren't we, when we were here before we were going to make our way up to the ground. We were proper getting a bit nervy, and it was just unreal that this is going to be just life-changing for Oldham Athletic, isn't it? And, there's so many rumours. Was it housing units? Was it Alan Rothwell? Was it Frank Rothwell? And, out of all three of them, no disrespect to the other two links, I think we're in good hands with Frank, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? He seems to be, there's no bad press about him. He seems to be a very charismatic man. He's out there, isn't he? You know what I mean? He wants to pack the part for Dorking. So this is what we have to do. We need everyone at Dorking, and get your season tickets as soon as you can, because we need to make BP a fortress, don't we? That's what we need to do.
Yep, definitely.
Build momentum now. Definitely. We've got to be the momentum builders now, for the team and Shez, just to move forward. So yeah. Have you seen any pre-season friendlies, Si, or anything like that? What are your thoughts?
No. In fact, because I actually work in Huddersfield, I pop up to frequent to Huddersfield, and I was in there yesterday, and I went and picked up a shirt. So I was a bit presumptuous, because I actually thought, it was going to be yesterday. So I kind of went in, got a shirt yesterday. It was kind of quiet, so I haven't had a chance to see any of the pre-seasons yet. And I'm actually away for the Dorking game, so I'm going to try and find a bar in Spain to watch it if I can. And then I'll be supporting it from abroad.
Be all over it in Spain, mate.
Very nice.
Oldham Dorking, bloody hell.
Oh yeah.
I heard that they've moved El Clasico.
Yeah,
to accommodate it.
Absolutely,
they were supposed to be
to move that. They've moved that to about 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, so you should be all right. But it is big news. It is big news around the country. You what, mate? Sorry, I'm talking.
They don't have brass bands in Spain, do they? So
no, no. I don't know. Listen, it's a bit of a bad line, mate. So I'm going to bring Tom in, and but thanks for calling. Really appreciate it, and give us a shout if you're up at BP sometime. And listen, well, thanks to you as well, Billy. We'll bring a couple of other people in, because there is a few. Yeah, but next time you're over, we have to have a pint.
Definitely, long overdue.
All right,
definitely.
Pal. See you later, mate.
See you soon.
Right, so Tom.
How are you, chap?
Hello, mate. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you two?
Good. Yeah.
All right. I suppose.
I was going to say, I don't really know why I've come on, because I'm still a bit speechless, really.
Tommy Bostock speechless. Yeah, right.
Like me. But no, what a day.
Yeah, it's still sinking in for me. I can't wait to have a few pints when I get in. I tell you, it's going to be great.
No, it's crazy. I was thinking before, though, I think one thing the past couple of years that I'm grateful for is the amount of new people that we've met. Like, I never knew you two before. Obviously, in the pandemic, and a couple of the PTB lads and loads of fans on Twitter. So I think next year, when everyone's back in the stadium, I think what a connection everyone's going to have. I think everyone's going to be together, and everybody knows everyone now, and it's the community's back, I think.
Yeah, that's been the massive thing, with the odd exception, obviously. Fans have really pulled together, and we were talking today with all these different people, and even before the press conference, there was a sort of a select few people in the board there today we're talking to, and the enthusiasm for the Atleticos, for what we've done as supporters groups, for the podcast has been really influential, because the family have listened to all the episodes and it's helped inform them, and they gave us a special mention in that. And that was I'm so proud of that, because that's everybody in this fan base has now played a part. Like we've come together, and we're all at the same point. We're all starting. We feel like we're starting again. And like you said, we all know each other now because we've used social media gets a lot of stick. But I think the atmosphere on social media between all the fans has been brilliant on the whole, because you can block the odd knobhead and then it's fine. And we all know each other now. We go up to each other and we see each other, we say hello, and we've met each other online, and it's brilliant, isn't it? It's like it is a new dawn, isn't it?
How long have we known each other? About 4 months.
It feels like a lot longer.
Yeah, but time flies when you're having fun.
We make the most of it now, don't we? We're connected. We've got Darren and these people that are running the club that are engaged with us as a fan, but genuinely, they want our help. They want us to get involved.
Yeah, massive. You can see that on Twitter. I've already seen a few tweets that the minute when the takeover gets taken over, I'll supply, being an electrician part-time or whatever. But there's so many, and I imagine with the surveys that you guys have done, there's so much skill set in the fan base that we can now help and drive the club forward. It's exciting.
The more help we put in terms of volunteer time and personnel and all that and skills, the more money there is for the playing budget at the end of the day. And so we all want to help because that's what we can do. Should we bring another guest in?
Yeah, the famed model of the away kit. Hello, how are you doing?
Don't forget to unmute your mic.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks to you.
Not bad, thanks.
It's Harriet, by the way.
Yeah, it's Harriet, yeah.
What have you made of the day so far? How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty excited, really. Like you just said, dawn of a new era. That's everyone's buzzing. I think whatever anybody else wants to say, we have got a really good fan base and we are united. I think we always have been throughout it, and it's just nice. I suppose it's just over the line. It's done, and we can breathe a little bit now.
Yeah, it definitely is sinking in.
Yeah,
it's definitely it's like the opposite feeling of getting relegated, isn't it? Where like you got relegated and you're like it's sinking in. And
is that what promotion's like? We don't know, do we?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I remember the thing is we're getting promoted. It was just this massive outpouring of joy. You felt it there and then. Do you know what I mean? Like you were just because it was so exciting. With like the relegation and the shit stuff is kind of more
the hangover. It's like a hangover,
it kind of lingers in you. But this is different as well. It's not like because this is the start of a lot of work to rebuild the football club. It's not like everything's sorted.
Yeah,
it's just a really, really. We've got a new platform to build on, and we've got good people.
We've got an owner who will communicate with us, which is
everything is there for the but. Day one of a takeover is day one of a takeover. Everything is to be proved. Everything has to be done. Nothing is set in stone. Yeah. There's no saying, I'm not trying to be a killjoy. I'm just saying there's a lot of hard work to do and a long way to go. But there is a foundation in place to do that now. The ground and the club are back under one ownership.
Yeah.
Oldham family. Joe Royal and Darren. I mean,
like Shez, he was buzzing, weren't he?
Yeah.
He was just absolutely having a right crack with us after before, weren't he? And yeah, it's just all the players are going to feel at the momentum. We just got to build on the momentum. I know it's like keep on repeating it, but just buy your season ticket, get in the ground, and just be the 12th man. That's what we need. We just need that just to pack the park. We need Dorking to sell out, don't we?
It'd be nice if it did, wouldn't it?
Yeah, especially being on TV as well. Just packing the part, and if we can win,
the thing is,
bonus,
we'll have to give Dorking about 50 seats, won't we? Yeah, and then the rest is going to be Latics, can't it?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Has it changed were you two both going to boycott next season? Home games.
Yeah, I was going to go to the odd few games, but because the atmosphere, nobody goes no more. So it's just as much as I like my dad, it's just me and my dad. I remember the days where it's just me and 10, 20 mates that would go to every game, but either they've all fallen out with me or they're just fallen out with the club. So, but everyone's coming back now.
Yeah, the queues are to see the queues for the season tickets is going to be the one for me. It'd be nice to see that, won't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Not for you. You've already got.
I already got one.
You bought yours
when
Abdallah was in charge.
Scab, horrible scab.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Now looking back.
Well, it's called Vision.
Is that the same vision that
one vision?
Oldham staying in the EFL,
yeah. That's the one that we're going to stay up and we'll be fine. It'll be all okay. And then I was wrong.
Harriet, I got a question for you because you're a female.
How perceptive.
I know. But Frank was talking about in the press conference about how terrible the facilities are for women, the toilets for women and stuff like that. And
he actually did. He went on for about 20 minutes.
And obviously we've got the Women's Euros now, which I've actually, I think when we got to the later stages in the Women's Euros, I think it's been really good. I think Germany are really good. England are good. Spain were good. There's some really good matches. But I'm not really bothered about that. I wanted to talk about, he was mentioning about getting a more diverse group of people into Boundary Park. So, more ethnic minorities, more women. What do you think it needs? Because there's obviously a huge imbalance. There's way more men go watching football than women. What do you think going forward are the kinds of things that would encourage more women and young girls to come watching Latics? If anything.
Probably, starts with families, doesn't it? Like mums going with dads and kids, not just dads taking kids. I think boyfriends taking girlfriends as well, just paying an interest. I've managed to rope my sister Lucy into it last few games, and she's hooked now. We've been to a few away games, and she loves it. But yeah, there's nothing really there at the minute, or there hasn't been for the last few years that you can really brag about and say, let's go because it's a great day. Because a lot of it's not really been a great day. And I did wander in the toilets. It's funny you should say. I wandered in the toilets one day, dying for a wee, and all 3 toilets cubicles were blocked up. Tissue paper to the rim. It was grim. So how do you sell that? You can't really. And I do think there needs to be a bit of a push, and that sort of just word of mouth will start spreading that. And I suppose us as women, we're ambassadors for it. We need to, make sure that we can endorse it, but we need something endorsable, and it isn't at the minute. So that's the sorry fact.
Yeah, there is a lot of work to do, but I think if we've got owners that are prepared to listen to people like yourself and take that on board, then we can deal with all these issues, can't we? Is the atmosphere really important to you? Is that part of, because the football? I think, Tommy, you've been going for a while as well, and we have. And with Frank's mentioned the Atleticos, it makes such a massive difference. He was talking about that Leyton Orient game. It was fantastic, the atmosphere at that game. And it does, when you're there, if the atmosphere is brilliant and the game's terrible, you go away remembering the atmosphere and not the game, don't you?
Yeah, 100%.
You look at the games everyone remembers the past few years, Chesterfield away, Scunthorpe this season. They're all games that we've won, and the atmosphere has just been class. And that's what people remember. And that's something that money can't buy as well. And that's why people go to the football, just to experience. Especially when you're an Oldham fan, you've got to be a bit lucky with games like that. But just one game a season, even if it's every 2 years, that's what people remember.
Yeah, we need to make it more consistent, though, don't we? We just need to get it more and more and more, don't we? I know it sounds daft, but it's a results-based business, and I think we've got the right man at the helm with Shez as well. Do you know when Shez came back against Rochdale? That'll be a game that I'll never forget. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
That was 0-0, weren't it?
It was a 0-0, -4, fucking freezing, and it was the worst game of football, and it was like Windathon, and it was crap, weren't it? But Shez were there, and it was just like, he's here, and he came out on the pitch, and it was just like flipping out. It was unbelievable, weren't it?
Yeah.
It was just, so hopefully he's the man for the job, and I just hope he can get a good run of results for the first 6 games, and we can move on from there, because I think that's going to be the key to it.
Tommy, I'm going to boot you out and bring the next person in, mate, because we've got this is the first time we've ever had such a massive queue.
Popular.
It's like waiting for a pint in Rochdale Road and at our time. So thanks, mate, and we'll talk to you soon, no doubt.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, Tom.
In touch, mate. Right, so I need to do that, and then kick him.
Don't ban him.
No, kick him.
We can ban him.
Got enough. We don't have a right, Billy.
Yeah, should ban him.
There we go.
Hello, Billy.
Billy's sat in the dark.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Because you're not being able to get us to put the light on.
Yeah, I know there's cost of living crisis, mate. But Jesus Christ, is it that bad? You're not that ugly, Billy. Come on.
I thought you had Abdallah in charge of paying your bills then for a minute.
Yeah, lights out, all out. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah, all good. Yeah, down in Nottingham, it's going well. Yeah, I'll be coming up for the Dorking game though. Definitely.
Will you be going down to the Torquay game? That's the question.
No, I think I'll probably give that one a miss. It's a bit too far. I'll be working as well.
Are you doing Torquay, Harriet?
No, it's my birthday weekend, so I've got a little festival to go to. unfortunately.
So have we in Torquay.
Torquay.
Latics First National League.
Get yourself down there.
We'll be at Dorking, definitely.
Very good.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the club have been listening to the and get in touch with people like yourselves about the situation, because what we want at Boundary Park is we want the whole town represented, and we want it to be packed. And that's, if the whole town's engaged in it, then it's not just like I hate the phrase diehards, because I don't think just because you turn up every week that makes you any more special than anybody else. But like, we want enough people interested in the club and in the match day experience that there's always a minimum amount of people there of like a base level, and that it's busy. Because I think our fans have proved time and time again that they're just fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah. As I said, the Athleticals in themselves, like I said, sight to behold. But the fans themselves, when Boundary Park's rocking, like Liverpool at home in the FA Cup, City in the FA Cup, do you know what I mean? It's just rocking, isn't it? And even away at Fulham, it's just I know. I can't keep making this noise.
You better not be making that noise when you lie next to me in Torquay.
Oh, I will. Yeah, lay next to you in Torquay.
Oh God.
Some of the games earlier this season, obviously when the fans kind of went back John Sheridan, you could see there obviously the atmosphere, and that was whilst was in the arse of the league too. So the fan base is there. Obviously we've come together now. It's just about obviously keeping that going, and obviously the football club as a business, as what was alluded to by Darren Royal in one of the interviews, obviously getting the most from that. Now that we've we have come together, and some of those fans have kind of not come back, but recognised how important the football club is to the town. It's about kind of keeping it going now. I want to get I'm going to get a season ticket, even though I'm down here. I'll be there for Dorking. My stepdad said to me he's getting a season ticket. He's not had a season ticket for years, to be honest, and he's going to get one. So obviously, hopefully, everyone's kind of of the same mindset in terms of going, whether it's buying a season ticket or going to our matches, just to obviously, hopefully, then cheer the team to get back to, even if it's top end of the National League, would be a decent finish. I don't think anyone's thinking about promotion. I think they're hoping for promotion, but
we're going up. We're going up. Are you going to get a season ticket, Harriet?
Yeah, definitely. I'm finally in a position in life where I work 9 to 5 now, so I can actually do the weekend thing rather than working while having 1 in 4 off.
Are you? Do you think we'll go up?
No.
Right, great.
You look at the other teams that finish top, and there's some real competition there. And the problem is they're seasoned in that league, and we're not. So I think I hate the word realistic at the minute, but
you're not part of the realistic group, are you? Are you part of the realistic group?
No. But yeah, I don't know. Don't get too excited. I think we're all guilty of that every single season.
It's a season of stability, isn't it, really? And then obviously, hopefully, kind of putting the foundations for maybe a push for a playoff finish the season after. I mean, obviously, every fan hopes to get promoted or hopes to be up there. And obviously, everyone wants to cheer on the team to win games and get to that point. But like Harriet said, obviously, I think we need to kind of be a little bit realistic in our expectations. And, with some of the supporters or some our football fans kind of cogged, if we do kind of lose a few games, we can't really let that, disappoint us. We kind of have to still stick it out and support the team and support what they're going to try and do, which everything they've said so far is, all the right things. And it seems like it's, the correct people now in charge, the people that know what they're doing, people with previous experience, previous footballing experience, and obviously businessmen with the interests of Oldham at heart, which is something we didn't previously have. So even if it's looking bad on the pitch, I think it's a little bit different to how last year and the years prior when we've looked bad on the pitch, because that's obviously been a result of complete negligence. Whereas obviously now it's a case for them to obviously fix that, which isn't going to be done overnight. Which again, why I'm saying a season of stability is probably what's going to happen realistically.
Definitely. Right, listen, Harriet, we're going to kick you out. Thanks for joining us. But we got Matt from Leyton Orient is going to come in now because I think on the thanks. See you again, Harriet.
See you later.
Cheers. Because looking at like our first season in the National League, well-established football league club. Hi, Matt.
Hi, mate. How you going? How you going, guys?
Pal?
You all right, pal?
You've experienced this, haven't you? Like you've been down and then been taken over, and you'll forgive me for not following the fortunes of Leyton Orient that closely at the time. I can't remember how long exactly you were down for, but you came back pretty quickly, didn't you?
2 years, mate. Yeah, second year. And they say it's, look. Firstly, look. Congratulations to all of you, and it's not just you. It's not just PTB. It's the fans, all of the Oldham fans. 100%. I mean, when I came up to that first Leyton Orient game, and I spoke on behalf of Loft, and I spoke to a good 200, 300, 400 Oldham fans. I told you all to forget what it said at Company's House. It's your club. It is. It's the fans' club. It's like a lot of smaller clubs, and it is. And it's another momentous day for another lower league club because you've got your club back. And it's, you can talk, there's a lot of hard work you're going to have to do now and the owners are going to have to do. And you want to get back out of that division. But for the minute, let's all just, and you see on social media, clubs of loads of fans celebrating in the news today that you've got your club back. And it's just, it's absolutely, I mean, like I've said to you, Matt, and I've said to the push the boundary guys, I didn't think I could be this buzzing about news for another club, but I am. I was checking my phone. I was out walking the dogs this afternoon. I'm actually on holiday this week. They missed a holiday. And there I am. If someone would have said to me a few years ago, you've been walking the dogs around a field out near Reading, and I'd be trying to check updates for Oldham Athletic, that'd have carted me off. It's just, but I wanted to share in the elation that I know what you guys are going through, because I know we all know what it's like. You have all the pain and the day like today, like I say, drink it in, celebrate it. There's a lot of hard work to do. Yeah, you want to come out, you want to get down at Boundary Park. You want to pack the park for Dorking. Look, even if you don't come up this year, who cares? You've got the club back. It's amazing. It's brilliant. Well done. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
No, thank you.
And listen, you've been fantastic. You really have. You on a personal level have been really supportive. You spent a lot of time putting a lot of effort in, like you said, on behalf of another football club, purely off the back of what you went through and being able to empathise and not wanting football fans of another club to have to go through it. And like we were saying before to Tommy about how our fans have come together. It's not just our fans that have come together. Social media and all that, and these shared experiences is bringing fans of all clubs together. I think it's really, really powerful. I think with the fan-led review and with all this that's happening and fans broadcasting like we can and engage with each other. And not just that, I have to mention the welcome we got down at Leyton Orient last year was just I've never experienced anything like it. I've never felt so welcome in a ground and then in the bar after. It was absolutely magnificent. And that, for me, is what football's all about.
And they were chanting, "We want Abdallah out."
They were joining in on the It was just magic.
It has changed. I mean, like I said, when we got taken over in 2014, you're thinking big money, Matt, whatever. I mean, say eight odd years ago, again, if someone would have said to me that I'd have forged links with various clubs around the country that weren't necessarily local, and speaking of fans, and now regarding, I've now got, I never knew anyone in Oldham. I've now got immense numbers of friends in Oldham, and I'm 200 miles away. And yes, of course, I mean, as we always said, when we were helped by Blackpool a lot and by Charlton a lot, and we've helped. I'm only too glad to help pass on that baton to Oldham. Is that we all want to win? If we played Oldham on, if you were still in the league, we played Oldham on Saturday. I want Orient to win, of course I do. But there's something a lot more to be said for fans coming together in this way, and it can be just as satisfying as getting a win on a Saturday and 3 points. And like I say, just reading through Twitter this afternoon, the elation I can feel in all the Oldham tweets and the response that I've had on a personal level. it's absolutely fantastic. And you know, and like I said, luckily enough, I think if I remember rightly, you are I think you are away to Woking and Aldershot when we happen to be away. And Woking and Aldershot are literally 15 minutes up the road from me. So I know where I'm going to be when you're playing Woking and Aldershot.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
We'll make sure we make it down as well so we can have a pint. Mark Mills has just put on there, this is Matt from the Pandemonium fanzine. This bloke is an absolute legend. Well, it is Matt from the Pandemonium fanzine, and he is an absolute legend. So I thought it was definitely worth putting on screen. But like, looking, it's just
to let the Orient fan seeing the link on Twitter and coming on. It's just amazing, isn't it? It's just, it's brilliant.
It's mad. I never thought, you know, I mean, like I say, never thought I would have been involved. I mean, look, I didn't want to have to be involved. We don't want to have to be involved in this way. You know, and you at the trust, and obviously PTB, I suppose, God forbid, the next crisis club, it might be your turn to hand the baton on, and yeah, we don't want to see that. Hopefully, the fan review, you know, in a serious point, is going to put paid to these unscrupulous owners owning football clubs. I don't think, unfortunately, that's going to come. Yeah, I think there's going to be another Oldham before, unfortunately, that fan review gets in, which is, you know, a very, very sad thing to see. But like I say, you know, let's celebrate. You know, Charlton are there, Blackpool are there, Bury look like they're making their way back. Rochdale are fighting really hard. Oldham are back. You know, we're back. So
Scunthorpe are the ones who are going to be the ones that worry me now, because they're in turmoil, aren't they?
Yeah, there's not much money there. There's not much interest, and you know, this is the horrible thing, is that, you know, there are, you know, many other clubs out there that are, you know, I mean, Derby, obviously they look like they've just about staved it off. I think they've escaped it, you know, the skin of their teeth. I think had they not been taken over, I think that was a real problem there at Derby. You know, but, you know, like I say, I mean, look, you know, Oldham, like I keep saying, you've got the club back, you know, and it's yeah, okay, the new guys put in the money, and, you know, there's the money men there, and we all appreciate that. But, you know, if it wasn't for the fans, if you did nothing, Oldham would have died.
Yeah.
You know, if Orient did fans, Orient would have died. You know, we appreciate the money men are there and putting the money in, but if the fans did nothing, there'd be no club. Exactly.
Listen, Matt, I'm going to bring another Oldham fan, and I'm going to bring Robin in because we have got a big queue. We're a bit pushed for time. But from one man to another, thank you very much for all your support. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for joining.
Enjoy it, guys. Enjoy.
Cheers, mate. All the best.
Cheers, guys.
What a guy.
Robin, how are you doing? Bonjour.
Hello.
Or bonsoir, monsieur.
Bonsoir. I'm not going to take you long, and you can kick me out soon enough. I just wanted to say I was watching the feed, and I was watching all the videos. The one thing that stuck out to me was when he said that when the new owner said he saw the drummer playing for the Atleticos. It just shows that just one person, all the people who say, "Oh, you can't make a difference, you can't do anything," one person can make a difference, and it just made a massive difference. He was there at the Leyton Orient match. He was listening to the crowd, and everything just came together at that point. All the stars aligned, and he listened to the crowd. It might not have changed his mind really, but it made a difference, and that's an important lesson for all the other clubs. Like Matt was just saying, all the other clubs that have got a problem, that might have a problem. It's just one people like yourselves, people like PTB, coming together and all making that difference. And all the people who say, "Oh, it doesn't make a difference," you got to ignore them. You've just got to ignore them and let them and put them at the back and just keep on going, because that's what you guys have done, and it's amazing. And what a fantastic day!
Absolutely, mate. Well, that Leyton Orient game, it was a big day. The atmosphere was amazing. I remember because I was in the Rochdale Road. There was also another potential investor that we're still in touch with, and hopefully maybe we, you know, let's just say we like to keep irons in fires, you know what I mean? But they were there that day as well, right? And they commented on just how magical it was, because it was. And there was a point, I was sat in the Rochdale Road end, and it got to about, 35, 40 minutes. And for the first time in the whole game, they stopped banging the drum, and there was just a little drop in it. And you noticed it straight away, because for the first half an hour, 40 minutes of that half, it just did not stop. It was just relentless. The atmosphere, the singing, the clapping, the drumming, and it was fantastic. And my dad said, like, the main reason he was pissed off with Abdallah, he was pissed off with everything that was going on. But once he found out that the Atleticos weren't going next season, that's it. He said, I'm not bothering. He said, I'm not going sitting in there with 1,000 people with no atmosphere watching non-league football. And now we're going to be watching non-league football, but it's going to be buzzing.
Yeah. What crazy.
Billy, I just want to say, Billy, have you got anything else you want to add, mate? Because I'm going to kick you out.
No, you can kick me off. That's someone else.
All right. Thanks for getting in touch, my mate. I appreciate
it.
Mate.
Take care.
See ya. Right. And we'll bring in... who's next? Mike Bartley, your device is not connected, so I don't know if you can hear us or not. So I'll bring in Tom. Tom, can you hear us?
Tom?
I've already
been it's you again. Hey! All right.
Get rid of him.
Bugger off.
But please listen to the show.
Right, Michael, you can... There's two Michaels, but there's one here. Michael, put your mic on, Michael.
Unmute, Michael. Unmute your mic, Mike.
I'll remove you. Put the other one in. Hey up, Michael.
Ingle.
Hey up, lads.
You all right?
Happy New Owner Day. Oi,
hey. Chin, chin, mate.
Chin, chin. What a day, boys. What a day.
What a day. How are you feeling, if it's not obvious?
Yeah, do you know what? It's like a little bit like your first guest day. Sorry, I've got the cricket on. Let me turn that off. A little bit lost for words. Kind of head's been in a spin, really, that it's all happened so quick. And do you know, I'm just proper excited now. Do you know what I mean? I was a turncoat, brought up a Man U fan. Used to go with my dad, and then someone gave me a season ticket for Latics because he moved away. And it's like I want the club I fell in love with back in 2001. I really think we're going to get it back.
Yeah, I think that's the feeling now, isn't it? It's not about anything other than that feeling of getting not just getting it back, but maybe even getting better than it ever was before in lots of ways. Because I was getting absolutely sick to death of hearing the potential of Oldham Athletic. I want that potential to be lived, to be realised.
Correct.
And I genuinely feel now that we're on the verge of something special. I think we are on the verge of something.
I certainly think so. Yeah, I mean, what you want is that the Atleticos and the younger kids going to school and saying, "Oh, what did you do this weekend?" Or I was at Oldham, and they go, "Oh, what's that?" "Oh, come down," and then they turn up, and there's this great big atmosphere, and you might win, and you're not what, and then they're saying to their mum and dad, "Will you take me to Latics?" They never get. One of the reasons I stopped supporting Man U is I could never get to watch them. It wasn't supporting a football team. It wasn't supporting a football team, and you might now get that new generation of fans from across the borough and beyond now that think, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, for you, Robin, that's a similar. Excuse me, it's a similar. You're. I mean, I've experienced it myself in Ireland. You're at a distance, aren't you? So you're supporting from a distance. It wouldn't matter which English football team you supported, you'd still be supporting them from a distance. So there'd be no sense in supporting another team or anything. But it still means just as much at a distance, doesn't it? It's still like, because it never leaves you, does it?
Of course. I meet people all the time, and it's what's your football team, and then I have to explain who they are, where they come from, where we are in geographically, and then I mention the 89-90 season, and they tend to get glazed eyes and walk off, but I still keep waffling on about it. But it's all that's going to change now, because this is, like I said, this is completely different. It's like a rebirth from the 89, from that period. This is like it's all starting again. My love for Oldham has never stopped, but it's my I don't know what the word is. My involvement in it has waned, come and gone. But for the last 2 years, I've been really involved just because of you, mostly, you guys and PTB and things like that, just, really paying attention to what's going on. And now just absolutely thoroughly invested and want everything from France. I've got friends in France who are Oldham fans who are looking to get to not just invest our time and invest our, we were looking at how to get to Torquay. And we've decided it's probably easier to get to Oldham than it is to get to Torquay. So we're probably not going to do that, but we are going to make a day. Definitely, we're going to make a day and get there. We'd never have thought of doing that last year at all, and just today, the conversations had dwindled but it was just like suddenly it's reignited. Everything is back on. The whole. And that's what today has done for us. It's all that and more. Just watching it and watching the press conferences and watching the reactions and watching. I know. OAFC did a little video with little heartwarming music behind it and everything, but it was pretty moving. It was quite special. And we're just looking forward to a new dawn, and everything is forward looking. It's not going to be instant. We may not get promoted next season, but it's positive. For the first time, we can actually see a movement in the right direction. That's what we're looking forward to.
I mean, at the end of the day, getting rid of those guys was paramount, wasn't it? I mean, they were just killing the club, weren't they? They were just making it miserable for everybody. They were making it miserable for the people that worked there. They were making it miserable for the fans. They were doing everything they could, seemingly, to just make the experience as miserable as possible, and based just purely on their own stubbornness. So, good riddance to them. What I will say is that I asked the question to someone today about what they've been like to deal with, and I got a text last night of Adam Morley, and he told me that the deal was done. And I do think that in the end, they've handed the club over. They've been involved in a process which has seen the club and the stadium be brought back together. And I think at the end, they've done the right thing, and they've done it well, and they've worked hard. They've been good to deal with by all accounts. So I'm going to give them credit where it's due that they've done that, and I'm very glad to be seeing the back of them. But they have facilitated something, or been involved in this process, and it's happened now, and we can move on. And in some ways, they were part of what we needed as a fan base to sort of wake us up and make us realise that we had to start taking more control.
I was just going to say that they've been sort of the catalyst for the fans to take action, and there may be a catalyst for other fans at other clubs to take action, to say that it is the fans that make the difference. And if it wasn't for certain sets of fans, we wouldn't be here today celebrating this, you know what I mean? And, you got to take your medicine sometimes and think, well, they've done what they've said they were going to do. They said they were going to sell the club, and there was everyone saying, oh, they'll never sell it, and we're going to be here for another 10 years. We're going to have to do a Phoenix club. We're going to go down. We're going to go out of business. But as you say, you've got to give them some credit, as little credit as you need to give them. But they have made the sale possible. And that, that's all we could have ever asked for, really. They've made it quick, easy, and out. Because 4 weeks ago, it came out of the blue from everyone. So they must have been working alongside people in the background, because, everyone's saying they're not communicating, they're not doing this. But they did, and they stuck to the word finally, and it's the first time they ever did it, and I'm glad it's the last thing they'll ever do at this club.
Yeah, thank goodness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Robin, I'm going to kick you out, mate. Thanks a lot for joining us. See you soon.
Bonsoir.
And we'll bring in Psycho. Our eat.
How's it going, lad?
All right, how are you?
Yeah, pretty good. It's stressful doing this sort of thing. Let's have a couple of smiles from you. Why so serious? What a good evening, eh?
Hey, it's not that. It's concentration.
Yeah,
try not to make mistakes on the and cut everybody off.
And pure focus.
Where are you calling from?
I'm in Sale now. Pre-pandemic, I lived in Royton, walking distance to the ground. And I've had a season ticket for 20 odd years. And I was just thinking then, I was thinking I'm 34 now, and I've never seen us more. I've only ever seen us relegated. I'm one of those that has never seen any success. Success for us is beating Liverpool in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
It's getting into the playoffs. It's playing QPR in 2003-4, I think it was. It's playing Blackpool in the playoffs. And you know, as much as it's been awful this last couple of years, really, really bad. Let's face it. I've taken part in protests. I was on the pitch myself. Although I did get a banning order, must have been on some sort of special list. But there we go. Do you know what? What a really good day. Really, really great to see someone from Oldham for the first time in, I make it 20 years, taking charge of the football club. You know, we had Chris Hamilton, we had Three Amigos, and obviously we then had Abdallah and his famous flat cap brother. And do you know what a brilliant feeling it is for someone local to take charge of the football club. And everything Frank,
I was just thinking about the
everything that Frank said today about the community. Brilliant. You know, that's what we should be about. Some people I was reading on Twitter the other day were questioning the tag of a community club or a family club. But everything that Frank said today, for me, really, really spoke to my heart. And I've shed a fair few tears, and I'm sure many others have, especially with some of the other videos that have gone on Twitter, especially from the admin at the football club. And do you know what? I did renew my season ticket at the end of last season, but I cancelled it once the North Stand was closed because, you know, for me, family. But I cannot wait to get there for that Dorking game, and I'm really, really looking forward to the new season now.
Michael, are you going to buy a season ticket?
So I renewed. I renewed, and the only reason I did is that I don't do anything else on a Saturday. I've literally got naff all else to do on a Saturday. But then, I don't know, a bit of an epiphany at the Salford game when, you know, they were boarding up the door so they couldn't watch, and I was like, yeah, no, this isn't my club at the minute. And I had a season ticket. How much it would have gone, I don't know. But then, you know, I thank God it's not come to that. But purely based on the cost and nothing else to do. But yeah, I did renew. But I know a few people that kind of I go with that normally don't commit to season tickets, that, you know, don't buy shirts. It's like, yeah, I'm buying a shirt. Yeah, I'm buying a season ticket. He wants to get flat caps as well. Latics flat caps. That's going to become a nice little trend.
It's so funny, isn't it? How it's almost like he's Mo's passed the flat cap onto Frank, and it's like
like a baton.
Yeah, and it's like it's almost like I shouldn't have been wearing this. I had no right. This holy flat cap of Oldham Athletic. I'll pass it to you, Frank. You go and do what needs to be done. But yeah, I mean, it certainly suits Frank more than it suited Mo. But
yeah, I would have paid very, very good money to see Mo walking out of that club for the last time with his box of his little things.
His fat cap between his legs.
What is wrong with Dylan Fash?
Yeah, and his Corvera #1 fan T-shirt. Yeah, Jesus.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, they have brought us some classic moments, haven't they? What's wrong with Corvera? He's shite.
Oh.
You know, they have brought us some, like the Brighton Cricket Club and all that kind of stuff. But I guess those moments were few and far between.
Very few.
Yeah, but sometimes I think for me, like the fact that some great moments. One of the moments that sticks out for me last year was Rochdale away when Abdallah was in the country, and we packed out that away end, and there was all the pyros and smoke, and downstairs in the bar area, which was mental, and we were bottom of the league. It was at half time. It was 0-0. We were bottom of the league. And the atmosphere was like we were top of the championship. It was just unbelievably good. And that sticks out for me because it was just like this is special. This club is special. The fans are special. And whatever's around the corner could be magic. And today that's what this is all about for me. It's like what's around the corner could be magic.
It's funny you say that about Rochdale. I used to live in Spain, so I go back over to Spain 5 or 6 times a year. And when I lived out there, I picked up a Spanish team, Nastic Tarragona. And so when I go to them, I show them videos, and they go, "Oh, you must be top of the league." And I'm like, "No, we're bottom." And they can't. Like, hey, what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just this is the passion. I think has been stoked again. The fire's been stoked amongst the fan base. There's no doubt that it was burning out, and the lads in the Atleticos and the girls in the Atleticos that turn up every week and like there was a great picture on Twitter, wasn't there? I think it was like when it started, like there was a home game against Wigan and how sparse it was, and then towards the end of last season, just how packed it was
against Bradford. Weren't
it? And it's just like, and they've worked really hard to build that up, and just fantastic that they're getting the credit.
Then I think you deserve a bit of plaudits for that as well, keeping people engaged with a podcast that, like you say, have decided to boycott, or like you say, the people that, like, I've got a mate who lives in the south of France. She comes over for a couple of games a year. They listen to it. It's a way of them being engaged. So I think you deserve part of those plaudits as well, mate.
Well, it's about for me. I did it because there wasn't that for me, because I was living in Ireland. You know what I mean? And I wanted to explore what was really going on, and we've done that together. It's like we've been on a journey of figuring out what's been going wrong at the club and figuring out what we might do about it, and getting to know each other and talking.
Yeah.
The social media is great, but you can only do so much. So actually being able to have conversations with each other like this.
Correct.
It's great.
It's just fantastic, and that's how we get somewhere. That's how we evolve. And I just feel like today is just we're a different club in so many ways.
Reborn, aren't we? It's like reborn.
Yeah, as and I mean that when I say it as a club, I mean as a group of people, because that's all a football club is. A stadium. It's about a group of people.
It's a shell. It's a shell.
It's a community. We're a community. I feel like we're an active, engaged community of people now.
I actually disagree with that ever so slightly. And I think, to me, the turning point for me was January. And the turning point was when we said, right, okay, come on, let's get behind Sheffield, let's get behind the team, let's get everyone in those grounds. And the atmosphere that we had at both Boundary Park and, I've been to Stevenage, Colchester, Walsall, Scunthorpe games since January. It just showed the potential in the fan base that was actually behind the club. And yeah, I think, obviously today is the day that we've all wanted. Today is the day we've all hoped for. But as a prospective investor, if you're looking at the club, everything that we did since January just proved what a fan base there is behind the club. And it's absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely. But I think that what happened in January was the result of a couple of years of work amongst the fan base and, and the supporters groups and all that kind of stuff. And it look, it doesn't matter like when or why or what, but the fact is that we're a different proposition now than we were then. Back in, when Abdallah took over, even, you know what I mean? We just are. It just feels different, doesn't it? It just feels.
Look at Grimsby. They got new owners just at the start of the season. They were by the playoffs, so there's every chance. We just need to. I keep on saying it. Buy your season ticket, pack the park, be the 12th man. You know what I mean? This is we need to get 5,000. It genuinely
could be the distance. It genuinely could be the difference that of, having a mediocre season and having a great season. But if you ask me at the start of the season now, would I take stability and a structure off it and a mid-table finish? 1,000%.
Yeah.
Promotion.
God, we all want promotion. We all want promotion.
Pistol League, set sail.
Yeah, that's it. Pistol League, indeed.
Yeah. Right. Thanks for getting in touch, Michael. I'm gonna remove you from the.
Take care, boys. All the best.
See you again, mate.
Take care, boys. Pal. And we'll bring, because we're getting towards the end now, and we've got Gary who's been waiting
and
here.
Michael as well.
And Michael.
Well,
so we'll bring Gary in first. All right, Gary.
That's mid blue. That
is it.
Yeah, it's been
Gary was. Well, we'll bring Michael in anyways. Michael, I tried to bring Michael in before he was on mute.
Hi, Michael.
Are you there, Michael? Are you there, mids blue?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Oh, there we go.
Michael.
Right. Michael. Michael.
Stop telling me what to do.
Yes, I've been eating moose. Right, we'll kick him out.
A bit of moose on your face.
I just want to say one thing, if you don't mind, lads.
Not at all.
He's during that press conference. Frank Oakhouse stood over, and I think my personal feeling is, do you know what? We don't need millions investing in this football club. It might take us a long time to build it back up. It might be a bit of hard work. Some people earlier in this hour have mentioned volunteering and electricians, plumber skills, all that sort of stuff. But you know what? If we can get a sustainable football club that is not relying on millions and millions of pounds of investment, hopefully challenging for some sort of football trophy, I'm happy. We've been through the ringer. let's get that stability there.
I mean, the thing is that in order to run football clubs, you need millions of pounds. That's just a fact. Like, so because the wage bills and the infrastructure and everything. The point is he's been able to generate millions of pounds to be able to fund it. That's the key. It's the key's not, we're debt free. They've bought the stadium and they've bought the club, and the club is not in any debt as a result. That is massive. We're starting off at zero. So any debt that the club accumulates over this time is going to be because there's not enough people going through the door. We're not spending enough money at the club. We're not doing enough in terms of finding other investors, because they said at the press conference today that they're open to a potential avenues, investment streams going forward. So it's managing all these things going forward. We've got 75 grand in the 1895 fund. What are we going to do to make that 100, to make that 200? What are we going to do with that money? How are we going to make that money work for Oldham Athletic going forward? We've got a lot of things that we need to explore and discuss, but aren't those exciting things to be exploring and discussing rather than going into this season thinking about how we're going to get Abdallah out, how we're going to survive in the National League, will Shez make it till Christmas, all these things. And to be honest with you, I was up for the fight, but I was also dreading it. Dreading it. I thought, I can't be arsed with this. I just want to go to the matches and enjoy the football.
And I've got to say, massive shout out to Simon Brook and Paul Whitehead. They've taken businesses on, they've run them, and it sounds like Frank's now going to take those over, or the club's going to take those over in whatever guise. And do you know what? Those lads have come in for a lot of stick. And to be fair, I've had my doubts as well. But do you know what? Fair play. Absolute fair play. It's all there. It's all to generate income for the club. And it's absolutely all for the club's best benefit. Brilliant.
Yeah, I think they did right. They deserve a lot of credit. And I think as well, like when they came on the podcast and they were able to talk about things in depth and give people the importance of being able to speak and people being able to listen and is really, really crucially important. We've seen it over the last few weeks on social media. As soon as there's a vacuum, it will be filled, and it will inevitably be filled with a load of bollocks.
Yeah,
people have heard this, they've heard that. It's definitely this. It's definitely not Frank Rothwell. Blah blah blah. Like, just you have to wait and see sometimes. And but yeah, we have to learn lessons, don't we? We have to learn. We've got a lot of things to learn.
Yeah,
a lot of lessons from the past at Oldham where things have been done wrong, and we need to start doing them right, learning from the way that they've gone wrong.
It's the match day experience for me. It's got to change, hasn't it? It's got to be a lot more conducive to an environment that's community based. Look at City before. They had the Etihad, then they made that fans park. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying for 1 minute we're going to be constructing a brand new fans park, but it's little tweaks and changes that can be easy wins that need to be looked at quickly, so we can just get that fan engagement. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it needs, isn't it? And again, we all need to be a part of it and have a voice, because I'm sure that we've now got an owner who's receptive to what the fans want. Like today, he went down to see all the fans and got in with the fans. You know what I mean? Would you see Moore do that, or Abdallah? No, he wanted to go down. Then he got the guy who played the drum for the Atleticos to come upstairs and have a picture with him playing the drum. He's just a character, isn't he? And I think he's. Look at what he's done in his spare time, rowing the Atlantic for was it for Alzheimer's? You know what I mean? He went and did that, and he's he's mad. I can't believe he did it, but it all came down from a conversation in a pub by just doing it, because he's a doer. That's what he is, isn't he? And that's what you want from a chairman. Do you know what I mean? And I think if we can sort of advise and lead in the way we can as fans, I'm sure he's going to be more than receptive, and it's just going to bring a good vibe around the place. You know what I mean? And that's what we need.
I think that's it. Some sound in the ball stand would be quite nice, to be fair, because we've not heard the PA or Boys in Blue or Mouldy Old or anything for quite a long time now. But I mean, the one thing he could do for me, if I'm perfectly honest, which it's a really small investment, whether he uses the North Stand or not is a different story, but some sort of a bit of a fan zone. Get the fans down there, get them in, get a bit of an MC in there, get them in before the game. You're paying fans to buy beers, basically. Why not? Yeah. Do it. It pays back quite easily. And that sort of stuff. I'm talking positively. It's brilliant. I can't believe that I'm talking so positively about the club.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. The North Stand's a death trap.
Yeah. The SAG will be in there, and they will conduct their relevant inspections in line with protocols as per the EFL.
Blah, blah, blah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's all good. Everything is... The club has new owners. We're starting the season We're going into 22-23. The club has new owners who live, work, employ people in the town. We've got Joe Royal on the board with his son. We've got our club back. And I really don't think there's a better place to end tonight's phone-in than saying that. We've got our club back. Well done, everybody. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next season in the National League, albeit, but, you know, proud to be OAFC.
Well done, guys.
The Boundary Park Alert System is hosted and produced by Matt Dean and Andy Halliwell for Q-Pod Productions. Visit oafcpodcast.co.uk for loads more info, including how to support us for just $2.99 per month, how to sponsor the show to raise money for the 1895 fund, and to read Arlene's brilliant weekly blog. Please follow and interact with us on social media at OAFC Podcast, and you can help change the game by listening to us on the Fan Hub app along with all major podcast platforms. Please like, subscribe and review the pod to help us climb the rankings and get more listeners. Pushtheboundary.co.uk and oasf.co.uk are where you'll find out all about our official supporters groups, getting involved and continuing to raise money for the 1895 fund. Don't miss the Latics football phone-in with myself and Dave Bradley every Wednesday from 8:30 till 9:30 at youtube.com/the Boundary Park Alert System. Follow us on socials at OAFC Phone-In. You can also catch us on the brand new Greatest Manchester Football Podcast live every Thursday night from 8 till 9 on the Greatest Manchester Football Podcast YouTube channel. Follow at GMFootPod for all the details. The title music for the show is by DJ and producer Starion with an R, and for more information visit bandcamp.com/Red Laser Records.